Hey guys, look what I got. That's right, I got the new E-flite Night Timber X. In this video, we're going to unbox it. We're going to take a look at all the parts and pieces. We're going to do some light testing. That's right, we're going to make everything dark here in GBLynden studio. And we're going to do some control surfaces tests. We're going to do some motor tests with the prop attached. And then at the end, we're going to wrap things up with our pros and cons. Coming up next, we're going to see what's going on inside the box. All right, guys, here's what it looks like inside the box. And as you can see, there is cardboard. Now, if you look on the other side, same thing. It looks virtually identical on both sides. So coming up next, I'm just going to take everything out of the box so we can take a closer look. Here's everything that comes inside this bind and fly kit, guys. Right here are the main wings. As you can see, the control surfaces are quite substantial. And the way this is designed, you can do full span ailerons, which is very nice. You can also do reverse throttle. We'll get into all that later on. Here's a look at the fuse. We've got navigation lights on the top and bottom. We've got lights that run throughout the fuselage, horizontal stabilizer, main wings. Got lights all over, and we'll get into all that, of course. And here is the prop. We've got a nice cone on the prop. On the underside, we've got one of those Collets. I'm not a fan of those, so my fingers are crossed that that will work well for this application. On this far right, we've got the slats that go on the leading edge of the main wings. I will not be using those. However, if you really want to make this a stall plane, toss those on and it definitely should help with that. For me, I'm going to do kind of a mixed deal, at least at first. I'm going to keep them safe. That way if I want to add them, I can, but at this point, I'm not planning on doing that. Here's a look at the top and bottom of the horizontal stabilizer. Right here is our accessories pack. We've got nice big landing gear. They are nice and spongy, and we've got springs, so I think I should be able to take off and land off pavement nicely, and then also be able to do off-road stuff because these tires are definitely Tundra style tires. Nice and big. Right here we've got the carbon fiber, the carbon rods for the main wing and the horizontal stabilizer, and the steel one, the steel rod, you can add to the back of the horizontal stabilizer for 3D flight, which is pretty cool. You can customize this how you want it, and I like that a lot. That and the lights, of course, are why I pulled the trigger. And coming up next, I'm going to put this thing together and we're going to see what it's all about. All right, guys, we have this thing all put together, and I'm happy to report that overall the build was not a difficult thing to do. I do question some of the choices that Horizon Hobby made, the prop assembly and the battery bay location being two really significant ones. One is just kind of annoying, and the other one can cost you your prop in flight. So that is all I'm going to say about that right now. This thing has tons of lights, which is great. I've got it set up per the book, at least the best that I could understand the book. And coming up next, we are going to do a control surfaces and prop test. Now we get to test the control surfaces, guys. Look at this. Tons of movement we've got going on here, which is amazing. I love that. Little flap action right there. Very cool. And this is on low rates, guys. In fact, let me do the ailerons here really quick. Boom. 100% and 70% are the recommended throws, which is great. I like having a lot of throws. And guys, if you are not looking at those, look at the landing lights in the nose right there, right by the prop. I'll spin that up real quick so you can get a good look. The lights are fantastic in this thing. And coming up next, we are going to take a look at the prop in action, up close and personal. Now we're going to get to see the prop spin up nice and close. All right, so I'm going to pull back here And then when I cut the throttle, it's like it's got a brake on it. It may have something to do with the reversing. I am not sure. Guys, in the comments, as long as it's close to the time of release. If it's not close to the time of release, check and see if 100 people haven't already answered that. Let me know what's going on with that. I'm pretty sure I can fly it as is. As long as I don't cut throttle. I generally do not completely cut throttle when I come into land anyway, so probably not going to be a problem. However, if you guys know more than I do at this point in time, let me know in the comments below. And coming up next, we are going to see this thing in pitch black. This scene really needs no setup, no dialogue, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. We are in pitch black conditions. This thing is really well illuminated. We've got nice lights, top, bottom, front, in the back, on the horizontal stab, up the vertical stab, of course throughout the main wings and the fuse. Very nice landing lights in the nose. We've got flashing red strobes top and bottom. Got flashing white strobes on either side of the wingtip, and of course you can see, you can't miss that nice big bright green navigation light. And then of course on the other side we've got the nice red one that you can see in the reflection in the headboard. So this is why I bought it. I knew there were going to be some things I wasn't going to be really excited about, but I'm sure once I get it in the air and we're past this unboxing process, I will like it. But coming up next, we're going to talk about all the pros, cons, plus and minuses, and that's coming up next. All right, guys, we're going to do our pros and cons now and wrap this thing up. The first pro, the biggest pro, the main reason I bought this plane is lights, lights, lights. They're everywhere. They're awesome. As you just saw in that last clip, I can't say enough good stuff about them, so I'll just leave it at that. Another thing that really stood out to me on this plane, especially when I was taking things out of the packaging, was that each of the parts and pieces came in individual plastic bags. That's not always the case with the Horizon Hobby stuff, so I have to give you guys a big thumbs up for that. 2 thumbs up, 4 thumbs up, lots of thumbs up for that. That's something that's bugged me in the past. I've had stuff show up damaged, and plastic bags can mitigate that to a large extent. So that's awesome, guys. Thank you for that. The color scheme I think looks fantastic. The original timber had kind of an ugly yellow color. That's not what this guy's about. These are more masculine colors, so I like that a lot. The landing gear is big, has nice suspension. I can't say enough good stuff about that. And I cannot wait to test it under a variety of different circumstances and terrains. It has optional safe. I did not set it up. It wasn't really clear how to set it up, and I wasn't going to waste a bunch of time worrying about that when it's not something I really use anyway. But it's still pro because you do have that as an option if you can figure out how to program it. And overall, the build wasn't too bad, so that's a pro. As far as the cons go, some of these are nitpicky. Some of them are pretty big, in my opinion. One of the cons is I had some small dents and lines on the top of the fuse. Of course, being white and you're outside, you're not going to see them, but still was a little bit disappointed by that. The wiring around or inside the fuse was wrapped around some stuff, so I had to undo a few things inside the fuse to reroute the wiring to make it so things were not going to get caught in the control surfaces linkage, which that's definitely not a good thing. The collet and the prop assembly, not a fan at all. I've been burned pretty badly before, so I'm never going to say positive things about that. If you bolt it onto one peg that mounts to the motor, you're so much better off. It's so much safer. No other manufacturers use that, so that's always something I'm going to bitch about. And if you don't like it, tough. I don't care. I don't really care. The battery bay location, not the best. This isn't a small plane. It's got quite a bit of clearance on the rudder. Yeah, you could easily put it in the top there, like the UMX timber and turbo timber. So that's definitely a con in my book. But with all that being said, I really am excited to get out and fly it. Overall, I'm still happy I purchased it, but it's my job to educate you guys on what I see, what I like, what I don't. If you don't agree, cool. Just ignore that con. But if that's something that's going to impact you, consider that before you click that button, because you're going to have to deal with it. And yeah, with all that being said, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell. Click on the links in the description. And GBLynden out.